Okay, guys, we are back at it and we are about to talk about the stocks on our watch list. These stocks are still down to those 52-week lows. These stocks are still oversold and ready. Again, as we previously discussed in the last videos when I was showcasing these, a lot of these are different industries. A lot of these are different stat sizes. They will move a little bit different. Make sure you're taking your time. Make sure you remember that the market conditions do change. The market conditions will apply. In yesterday's or on Friday's trading session, we had about 4,000 advancers. Not too many decliners. They would come in for a round of bearishness in the beginning of the day, making about 4,000 decliners. And now we see that throughout the day. They've been buying things all back up, leading into this overall bullishness that we see coming into a lot of stocks here and too the after hours with things exploding up hundreds of percents. One of these things exploding up hundreds of percents is one stock that was on our list already, the MYNA. In fact, MYNA is currently right now the first one at the top of our list because this one's already exploded, and now we're going to be getting ready to go. I already locked in gains off of MYNA. Like I said, you'll be able to always see when I'm getting ready to make that move, and I already put out the alert, locking in my 110% and do what you got to do because ain't no telling what the markets be doing tomorrow. Okay, so we see a lot of people already locked in gains off of there. You do it at the top if you can, but it's not too late because you're still already up like 60, 70%. But I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to the pre-market move, like it'll take coming for another explosion. They are under $1 and they got to get back up there, and they still can reach up to those highs. That was just the first quick test. But they don't too often always come in for that volume, not always the next day. So it might be a little bit slow, and you might be even able to get a better dip if the markets open back up, more bears tomorrow. Easy moves on MYNA, and as you see, these stocks at these lows, they do get ready to come out with their next piece of news. And MYNA did come in with news about how Minoraic amended loan agreement for $5 million for the third bridge loan. A total now of 116.5 million and 95 million secured by subsidiaries. Maturity date for all loans extended to January 31st, 2025. It's definitely adds to the bullish sentiment. And they still do got a whole gap to fill up towards like $1.40. So people who still holding up in there, it's still definitely a good bull run. Notice how they around that, what's this, around 72 cents in after hours, right around that 80-cent range almost, where it's facing very big bearishness. In fact, we can go see MYNA on Moomoo. I almost always forget to bring this up where we want to see the analysis order flow. And now we can see we got the extra larges that are rushing in there right now. They're not playing games in MYNA with a mean wall of bullish cost distribution coming in, getting ready to come in more bullish and overtake the rest of it. You get another bull run at MYNA. Next, you got where we at? Next, you have the QTTB. This is one of my favorite ones on this list. QTTB getting ready to explode up to about 20 something dollars. This one gonna have a super massive move coming in, and they got options. So when a stock got options, most people, like a lot of traders, especially like bigger traders and stuff like that, they won't even mess with a stock if it doesn't have the options. That's going to add to the bullish sentiment, okay? And it's going to be very fast on QTTB because you can be able to see that they got an average volume of 280,000 and a current volume of 550,000 right now. That volume is starting to pick up over that average volume. And once that volume gets over that 1 million, it pops up on everybody's radars and scanners and stuff like that. Well, it's going to start to get very, very volatile. Of course, being held back a bit today by the overall bearish market conditions, but nothing to fear there in QTTB, and you'll still be able to see when I'm putting out my alerts for QTTB when I'm still holding, when it's time to be able to get in that stock. And of course, you'll be able to see, just like the last one, when it's time to sell. And catching other things in between, of course. As today, I was catching our Bitcoin trades, like just still holding up in this last one. I didn't even sell this one yet. Still up like 150%. Everything, I trade, we trade in a certain way in the Bank with Bleed Discord. We trade with proper market mannerisms. No, when you see these videos, we are not just pumping up stocks. That's why often after that stock explodes, you don't see me come back and do an update on that thing because we on to the next thing. We don't need to pump it up because we get into the safe, easy, early seat where you could trade with no fear, no pressure, no anxiety. Just sit back and let that thing come in for you. And just like how MYNA did up about a good 150%. Oh, you got all these same ones that are still ready to make the next move. And also do keep in mind, okay, let me point this out real quick, that you got some new 52-week lows that come about the 52-week low list. As stocks are getting off of the 52-week low list, new ones come in to take their place. So there's some other ones to be looking into, but I'm not going to be updating these new ones until we get out of these old ones, which is going to be the ones that we are currently holding in now, until like towards the end of the week, maybe like Thursday, Friday, something like that. So if you are like new to trading and you just getting started, you don't even know where to go, how to follow along. You're like, man, where do I get in at? Well, you can get in at these 52-week lows and follow along with the clean cycle that me and the rest of the members in the Discord do. So you don't got to be worrying about what's going on next. QTTB might take it just a bit of a while, as it is a low stat one. And you need like throughout today, it only got 500,000 in value. But nonetheless, one thing to always still be checking out is your short interest on these stocks. This is a high short squeeze potential target that most people don't even notice because it's so low in stats. If you are seeing this video right now, you're the only one that's noticing this. Literally, QTTB, because everybody else all focused on all the other stuff that's going on. But they got extra large still coming out of here right now, which is good though because off of this small dip, you want to be in, but because the second that they all bite back in there, this thing gonna come in for the super move on QTTB. Next, you got SPGC. And if you want to know more about what these different stocks are, yesterday I did, and in previous days, because we talked about these earlier on in the 52-week low video. But yesterday I did make a video talking about my center rally watch list, wish list, the things that's finna get ready to explode these weeks, and you already see that they already getting started. I take great I greatly enjoy making these videos for you guys, bringing you this information and stuff like that. Whether you are a newer trader or a small retail or a big investor or one of those new broadcasters out there, or you a journalist somewhere, wherever you got going on, even if you're another YouTuber. Everybody is welcome to the Bank with Billy Discord, and you can always let me know in the comments below what stocks you have, what ticker symbols you need updated. I'll go that immediately, and you can always watch the Bank with Billy YouTubers. They do as well have their channels making videos on they things as well. Let's continue on though. All right, so you got SPGC. Ooh, okay, so SPGC. This one right here, they love this stock. It seems like big wells are almost addicted to SPGC at the bottom and down here. And many people don't even notice this stuff. Look at all this volatility that's been coming in here at the bottom. They got smalls, mediums, and larges coming in with some extra larges going out today. They be scared. People be nervous. They want to get out on a bearish day. But notice this on today's bearish day. Well, that didn't really stop SPGC at all. In fact, on today's bearish day, it still ended up only going up even higher here towards the after hours. And I tell you guys to be waiting towards the after hours for a reason, because that's when everybody's really going to start to get confident and bullish, trying to get up into their swing trades. With the RSI pushing back up its range, I got to show you SPGC on the daily. A mean gap to fill up there towards about $1.39. I've been messing with SPGC for like a good week now. So and it's been getting very volatile. I'm very bullish since. We're going up like 30 last week. I already went up like 40%. I figured it's coming in for a bigger bull run, so I'm still holding. But even today, it's still up like 20, 25% right now. And it's still just getting started. Look, you got an average volume of 1 million. You now got a volume of 2.42 million now. You know, that volume really picked up, as you can see, right towards the after hours. And they got a free float of 912,000. If this thing just kept on pushing it out, and look, like I said, once that float get filled, it's just about to start just going up. If more people just bought, this thing would have just took off. What they got the short interest thing here. Let me see. Not too big in short interest. It's not a big short squeeze potential target, but easy money though. Next, you got CRVO. Oh, getting ready to come in for another bull run here from $1.80. Okay. They already making it up to $2.35. And CRVO is one of my more favorite ones on this stock. I'm gonna show you why on a short interest here in a minute. But already been in CRVO, of course. And again, you always be able to see what I'm telling you. These things are the upcoming swings. You'll be able to see the next set as I put out to the Discord. I might not make a video. I don't have to make the videos on the 52-week lows. The members of the Discord take top priority so they get those things first. And then that's why you see me usually coming in for stocks and then updating those things on after they exploded in the morning, stuff like that, because we get the alerts early in the Discord. And like these stocks at these 52-week lows, like I know a lot of you might be like longer term investors. Like these stocks at these 52-week lows, look at this. They on massive discounts. Like after they explode and I lock in games and get ready for the next thing, you don't have to. I move how I move and for a certain well, I'm very used to moving how I move, and I move how I move so I can continue to teach the next set of traders and whatnot who are coming along how to swing trade and catch these at the bottom. It's like a whole new set of you guys almost every week, and it only take me about 2 3 days, maybe a week to get you in the right direction. You know what I mean? No pun intended. but yeah, getting these sites early, you finna go in the right direction. And I'm always saying, I've been in a full cycle with these things like years. So I'm just like, I just, it comes down to experience too. Don't get me wrong. But CRVO, got massive short interest, bigger than ever. That short interest is picking up so rapid fire. It's gonna go back. So they finna make this one squeeze. You got an average volume of 380,000. You got a current volume of 300,000. That's 294,000 to be exact. I know some of y'all jump in the comments and want to say something about a one number being off or something like that. And you got a free float of 5.35 million right now. It's a decent free float to be coming in, because it's not gonna take too much pressure to fill that up. I like the low stat stock. You guys could haven't been able to tell that by now. But yeah, bull run coming in. You can also check out their balance sheets. A decent balance sheet up in there on CRVO. Assets outdoing liabilities. So big wells would like to see that. With a gap to fill all the way up towards $10. In fact, let's not forget the move. We go ahead and see what that pressure is looking like in the exact time. A bit of bearishness today from the extra largest, but largest, medium, and small, just taking full advantage of this, as this does have the big bullish wave of the cost distribution, and nothing's really holding it back. If today wasn't a bearish day, in fact, they made the markets be bearish just so these stocks wouldn't explode. Next, you got MRM. MRM. Okay, MRM is one of my favorite ones on this list. This is a healthcare stock. Don't get me wrong, y'all know how I really don't like those, but going from 90 cents and still holding up here, even amidst today's bearishness over this dollar. You know how that dollar right there is a key level, man. With good news coming out, what's this about how MetaRhyme Healthcare Technologies announces the November 2024 key performance indicators? I don't know what that means really. But hot news nonetheless, and they coming out with that hot news down here at the bottom, and that's what it's all about to help them come in for that next bullish sentiment. And again, with an average volume of 182,000, that's why it's not taking off because don't nobody notice it. You the only person. If you seeing this video right now, you the only person seeing these stocks at the 52-week lows that are low in these stats. 182,000 on the average volume and 80,000 on the volume with a free float of 5.86 million. This stock right here, decent in that short interest. You're the only one that see it. So when that squeeze comes in, it's gonna be fast, and you're the only one that's already in it. They're gonna be moving up towards that $2 before it even starts to face big battle again, big resistance again. But next you got TNY. Oh yeah, and MRM. MRM is a little bit of slow mover right now. It is. Don't get me wrong. It's not the most bullish one. Like you don't see no fireballs coming in the section just yet. You know what I mean? Not for MRM, but that's the thing though. While we waiting for those swings to swing, you locking in gains off the other swings, and then you catch on all the other hot trades that me and the coaches are putting out. And I recommend that you start getting into this Bitcoin, man. Like, well, what I go this big money right here. This big money right here. I know it looks scary. It's big gains, big risk and stuff, but it's the same setup, the same strategy every single trade. You really just getting in over so, timing it correctly. Don't get me wrong. The markets can be iffy. They will apply, but you all good. But TNYA. A mean gap to fill up towards about $2.17 on TNYA with an average volume of 4.36 million and a volume of 7.02 million. They got a free float of 77.83 million. This one is going to take a little bit more pressure to come in on TNYA, but that's cool though because they got options. So the options going to add a lot of pressure and on TNYA. So he's still holding this one, nothing to really fear here. Another bearish day could come in and make it have a pullback, but you already know that, which is why you be having your 7 to 15% stop losses. Of course, I mean, I will hope you do. TYNA or TNYA. Where we go? Oh yeah, let's go see the pressure on this TNYA. Of course, it's gonna be probably looking a little bit bearish, extra large and whatnot. They holding it down, but it's still holding up overall from its all from its ultimate low with a super cost distribution. That look good down there. Let's look at that. And notice how the cost distribution just like builds up one over time. It's getting a bit choppy right now, but nothing to fear there. Not just yet, at least. Next, you got almost to the end of this list. Actually, it's like only two more on this list. Buru. Okay. Buru and they laser technology. Notice how they went down to that dip down to 27 cents and they bought that right back up to about 50 cents. Looking good on Buru. Very positive. A lot of bullishness. And even in today's bearishness, they still deciding to hold this back up. And off that dip, they lowered that back up rather immediately here towards the after hours because that's how those stocks at those 52-week lows go. With average volume of 10.81 million, you get in the current volume of 2.34 million right now, and you have a free float of 19.21 million. Okay, that's a decent free float against that average volume because once it still gets up with the average volume and outdoes that, it's going to be dangerously close to filling up that float. And Buru stock, although it is a little bit bigger in the stats and whatnot, you see those big stats and high volume add into that volatility, making things like that happen. And back there, it would have took off if shorts wasn't so heavy and want to be holding these stocks back and stuff like that. You already know how that goes. So make sure you keep an eye on everything that is going on and be ready for the next piece of news to come out and watch for the market conditions. Towards the end of the day, there's a lot of different things that you can do to get yourself prepared for the next day. I'll show you some of those things here in just one second. But you got the super bullish wave of cost distribution coming in. That's going to overtake all of that bearishness. Very easy. It's still holding up very good. It just needs a good bullish day. That's all. Next, you got KROS. Okay, KROS is already starting to come in for a bit of bullishness, as you can see. In fact, my calls were up about 20%. And I say calls because I got the calls on there already for some for the 30-day expirations. If you want to follow along with this type of move, you can, but you can still also load up some shares of that thing as it just climbs up. Eventually, it's going to go back up towards about that $25, and then it'll probably find support around there. It'll probably spike up towards about $25 because it's low in stats, okay? Because it's low in stats, and then it'll find support there before it starts to like climb up gradually and gets volatile through the days. Because most people miss out on that first run and then start to get in too late and stuff like that. You know how that go. And last, you got SOBR. Okay, Sober is a hot stocks. SOBR is known for coming in for those moves. I'll just zoom back too far. They come in for those spikes. You saw those spikes back there, but they come in for those spikes. And when they do come in for those spikes, you want to be ready to lock in gains. Like here, for example, look, it went from 80 cents spike to 2020 cents. They sold it off instantly. This one you're gonna have to be ready for because that spike could come in to be a major move from like this $1 always like $30. The sky's the limits on SOBR. So be prepared for this one. And when it does, it's gonna start halting and all kinds of stuff like that. So you want to be in there early while around this dollar before it does get to doing all those halts and new highs be made there, man. But these are the last ones. I've been updating last week, just got in those last over the weekend. And wanted to give you an update because I'm sure many people are holding in like what's gonna go on, what's happening with the markets, why didn't these stocks explode? And many of you don't go back to look at your overall market conditions. The markets have been more bearish and more slowed down today. So we're going to be looking for an overall reversal there. And I see y'all in there. And I'm Billy Banks. Happy trade.